describe the resilience your team showed?
Yeah, I'm so proud of them. Got our backs against the wall early. Fought through that, then got the lead and all that, and played really well. I thought once we got a rhythm offensively, I thought Andy did a great job calling plays, keeping the rhythm. Jalen had a lot of confidence. We get the 2-score lead, but obviously you see the ability for them to strike and strike quickly. Just couldn't seem to make a play. I don't think we had a sack, so we did maybe one. We just had troubles getting to them. Again, then the battle and the score, and then Kobe makes another big play. So it's again, we talk about we want to get the game in the fourth quarter. We can get the game in the fourth quarter on the road. Then it's a 15-minute deal that we can try to pull it out. So I'm very proud of them.
On your first scoring drive, 3 consecutive plays, 3 consecutive first downs by 3 different players. Can you explain just the versatility of your offense?
Yeah, I was just going to say, ask me plays I don't remember. Again, I think our depth is starting to show. I don't know where we're going to match up against everybody, one side or the other, as far as talent and all conference players and all that stuff. But I like the way our depth is. We've shown we have a lot of guys that have stepped up, make plays in 2 games, and continue. And sometimes it's tough to get everybody the football, but. Again, the spreading it out. Luke Grimm had a big game. Skinner had some plays. Lawrence made plays. Casey makes some big catches. I think he was the 4th down catch. Tanaka got his first catch, and then of course the guys in the backfield, and then Jalen did a great job. Running the football today as well as throwing.
What is the value of going on the road and starting the Big 12 conference play with a win?
As we know, this program struggled to get wins. Obviously first conference game and a road win. Road wins are tough to begin with. Starting the conference season, a lot of different things. As we know, this is a group that's been bruised, mentally a lot, and they're starting to gain some confidence and believe in one another, and confidence in the system and how we're going about it. And this is one that you sure hope you're going to build upon and keeps it. We got a lot of games to play, and I got to go on the road again next week. But it's I'm very happy. I want to say it's the least I could in that locker room. Let them go celebrate.
Talk about your offensive line. Last week they gave up Pitt's O-line gave up 5 sacks to WVU. How did you see your offensive line perform against a strong WVU defensive line?
Yeah, I was very pleased. And again, I think it's a credit to them up front. I think it was a credit to, I think we were able to mix some things up too. But yeah, that's as, obviously you stay focused on your game ahead, but watching that game Thursday night, watching it all, then it was like, oh boy, that's a good group. And I think both teams are vastly different than the last game of last year, and for the better on both sides, and I think that showed itself tonight as well.
Lance, you talked at times last year about breaking through the teams like here we go again mindset. That's something you came into. Like, did you feel like that was evident tonight in that?
Well, you feel the momentum shift. I mean, we've talked about it before. We talk about it every Friday night at the hotel, and even Saturday morning before we get on the bus. Okay. Games are going to swing in momentum. Can't flinch. How do you respond? And how do you bounce back from it? And again, we didn't get off to a very good start, but we were able to, and then the muff punt kind of helped us with besides deferring and getting the ball coming out the second half, and then we got the extra possession on the muff punt. So then it switches back, and we had a pretty emotional, exciting overtime game a year ago, and I think when it got to that point, I think the group had confidence right there that hey, we're back into a shortened field game, and we're gonna make it happen. Because it really hadn't, I think we punted 3 times, maybe it's twice, something like that, wasn't it? But we were able to, have success, mostly the last 3 quarters there. So we felt good about once we got on the short field. And the late hit on quarterback helped, no doubt.
How would you think of Jalen's composure and poise and all those things that you say about guys not
outstanding. He doesn't, some days you look at him like, geez, grin on his face, and he's smiling, bouncing around, and and I'm like, no more calm than I am. But yeah, so proud of him, and that's what you want. That's what I think sometimes we lose that in college football. Go out there and have some fun, and I think he does. I thought him and Devin both. I thought Daniel Highshaw showed himself again today.
You guys almost had the fumble, right there at the end with Daniels, and then it's judged that he's down, and then kind of you talk about balancing the emotions and handling the roller coaster there.
The one that was reviewed?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
and then to bounce right back, and then.
I learned a new rule or two again tonight. But yeah, that was close, and then to come back 2 plays later and see it. Yeah, you're right. It's emotional, it's draining and all. But again, I think the guys on the field, kept the composure and stayed with it.
In regards to time of possession, you guys were down 5 minutes in total, but especially in that third quarter, you guys seem to control the clock a lot. Just talk about how or what that message was in regards to controlling it.
Yeah, I think it's just a mixture of the game plan that we wanted. As you were saying that, I looked, I maybe thought it'd been a little more balanced, but I think those couple possessions, when you don't execute in the 4-minute offense the way you'd like, and you got to give it back, that I think some of that kind of flips it a little bit. But yeah, I'm trying to look for total yards. I mean, they had 500 yards and we had 419. So I mean, some pretty good offense on both sides.
Jacoby's performance there at the end comes through for you guys, but the defense is overall. I mean, to be in that hole early, to have them gash you guys real quick, and then just stay with it. And what's the message to them, and how do you look at that performance?
Yeah, we did get some stops there when we needed to. We talked about that. Got off the field. Yeah, we're going to look at this. You give up 42 points, and you want to be better. And some days that's the way it's going to be in college football. And but. There's plenty to learn from. Again, there's some guys there. There's some things in the secondary. I think OJ slipped on the first long touchdown. There's some things there, leverage and confidence and that we've got to continue to work on. So, as always, we'll have plenty to watch on the way home and plenty to address on Monday morning.
When Kobe's running back the interception, are you thinking go, 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 or do you want him to go down?
No, I told him to go down. Told them at the one guy, I said, now when we get the turnover, I make sure you land on the fumble and go down. Listens real well.
Coach, you guys are off to your first 2-0 start in 11 years. What does that say to you about this team, and what does that say about the future of this program?
Obviously, any of us have been there for that long, and but we've gone through. For us to get off to a 2-0 start, and we keep stacking days the best we can, and it says a lot. But it'll only mean a lot if we go out and play well again. And people ask about how do you feel about the conference game this early and things like that. It's a great challenge. It's a good reason to get up for something, and But the more this happens, the more you're not going to sneak up on anybody. Okay, when it's on the film and you're doing good things, that's great. But you got to be able to prepare each and every day to get yourself a little better and get ready for everybody's best punch.
Offensively, your RPO seemed to be very effective. What do you think that recipe for success was with the RPO?
Well, I think combination of guys. I think Jalen's done a nice job of I'll start with. It's partially game plan, and then partially there's some things that we're doing better running the football. And of course, that's tough on backers and second level players. And I thought we were able to make some things happen, and then some of the guys on the outside start making some plays. And I think on both sides of the ball. I mean, that's what it's supposed to look like when you're making some things in the run game, and then it complements off the play action.
Time for one more.